Hello, my name is Josh Fein-Brown. I'm an osteopath, naturopath, and pain management specialist. I graduated in 2015 from the British College of Osteopathic Medicine, and since I have been very interested in pain science, particularly the neurophysiology of pain from an evolutionary perspective. I completed a master's in pain management at UCL in 2021, and I'm here today to talk to you about the CPD course that I have created based upon my intricate understanding of the evolution and neuroscience of pain as we currently understand it. Now, for me, when I was training to be an osteopath, I noticed a huge discrepancy between the literature on manual therapy techniques in particular and the outcomes that my patients were having when I used those kind of techniques on them. This discrepancy has been a topic of big debate in the osteopathic profession at the moment, and there are alternative explanations to what we often are taught about how we are influencing the body with our hands for why our patients get better. And this is what I've designed the CPD course to bridge, this gap between the mechanical understanding of what happens and the patient's actual perceptual experience of their pain. Now, for this, I have explained it for myself in evolutionary terms. Now, for me, it is essential to think about how our ancestors live within us. And our ancestors are continually expressing themselves through our biology, down to the very structure of the blueprint that makes up all of our cells, our DNA, all the way up to our perceptual experience of the world as human beings who are able to be self-aware and self-reflective and to form things like language and thought. Now, what we'll take you through in this course is particularly an evolutionary history of nociception. Nociception being the perception of noxious stimuli, which is designed to maintain the physical integrity of the body. Now, maintaining the physical integrity of the body is essential for all life on Earth and always has been ever since the first cell created a membrane around its DNA. This membrane creates a set of rules. You need to be able to maintain the physical integrity of the body, exchange fluid and electrolytes across this membrane. You need to absorb nutrients, you need to reproduce, and you need to be able to detect danger. So we, over the years, moving from unicellular to multicellular organisms, evolved nervous systems. And even in the most primitive nervous systems, which we find in jellyfish, distributed neural nets without a central hub, we find nociceptors, because of this fundamental requirement to protect our bodies. These nociceptors are responsible for primitive reflexes of withdrawal away from high threshold mechanical stimulus. And these withdrawal reflexes have been present in all animals right up to where we are today with human beings. And we still have these reflexes present in us. Tension has always been associated with pain and protection. So from this kind of framework where we outline what it is about nociceptors and the nociceptive physiology that is so crucial and useful for protecting ourselves, we can also understand that the nociception does not necessarily equal pain. Nociception is designed for protection, detection of changes within our bodies to the chemicals, the mechanical stimuli, and the thermal changes. But we don't necessarily have to perceive these changes. And in fact, we can perceive pain in limbs that don't even have nociceptors anymore, for example, in phantom limb pain. So using this evolutionary framework, we'll take you through what is the clinical presentation of a nociceptive-driven pain and how can we influence that to the best degree in order to move our patients from a place of injury to a place of health, place of pain to a place of pain-free and functioning well. We also need to separate the people who are experiencing pain that is not a result of direct nociceptive input. And we need to look at how we form perceptions. Because this model I'm going to present is one where pain is a perception, And the framework we're going to use to present that is the predictive processing model. Now, this is a hot topic in neuroscience at the moment, and it basically solves a fundamental problem of time delay. When you have more complex nervous systems, you have an increase in time of sensation, stimulating receptors in the periphery, sending this information up to the brain, processing that information, and outputting a response. If this was the case, and if this was how our nervous systems formed action in the world, it is likely that we would not be able to survive. For example, if somebody throws a ball at you very fast, picking up that information of the distance and the speed, being able to process all of that information, being able to then move your hand into the correct position to then be able to catch the ball within less than half a second is just not possible using that current framework of understanding. So this predictive processing model gives an alternative view. It says that our brain is constantly trying to predict reality. It is creating models through our past experience and also evolutionary history of what is out there in the world. And we are acting based upon the models that we have created. So in the context of somebody playing catch with us, we move our hand to where we expect the ball to be in space based upon our prior history. We don't move in response to the ball being thrown. But what we do is we use the information that is coming in from our eyes to update this model, to refine the movements that we are already making based upon our predictions. Pain works in a very similar way. We make a prediction based upon our past experience about what kind of movements or environmental conditions may have been associated with pain. And these predictions can be sufficient to generate pain within our perceptions alone, without the inputting damage from the nociceptors. So after we have taken you through these wonderful, very exciting models that integrate so well into one's own perception of reality, that they are very useful ideas, we will teach you how to apply these things to your practice with your patients. And these ideas are so wonderful because you don't have to change the techniques that you do. I'm not going to teach you loads of new ways to mobilize the body or new ways to change the joints, because we have expertise in how to do that extremely well. We just have to change the intention and the language that we are doing. All that is to come in this 2-day CPD course on treating pain, a predictive evolutionary framework. The course is happening in September, on the last day of September and the first day of October. I really hope you come and join me, and I'm very excited to run it. I look forward to seeing you there. Follow the links below.